One of the most important things when running ads on Facebook is your targeting. In other words, who's actually going to see your Facebook ad on their newsfeed. And that's obviously where ConnectExplore comes in. Using ConnectExplore, you'll be able to discover many more interests that you can target with your Facebook ads. And in this video, I want to go into how do we actually know which one is going to convert for you using our audience testing feature. So obviously not every interest is created equally. Some audiences, that people who are inside a certain audience, they are going to perform and they're going to convert really well for your business. They may be super interested in what you have to offer, but another one may not. Those people who are in this group may not be as interested. And normally if you target things on Facebook, Facebook puts them all in one big group, and there's no way to tell which group of people is actually converting for you and which one isn't. And because of that, your campaign might be losing money, might be mediocre, while actually, and if you would really zoom into the data, you would find out that parts of those audiences are working really well for your business while others are not. And that is why we created the audience testing feature. So how does that work and what do you need to know about it? That's what we're going to go into in this video. So in this video, I'm going to assume that you've already done your research and you've got a list of interests that you'd like to target. So you can then click on apply all to ad set, which will bring you to this page right here where you can set up your layering. I'll get to layering in just a little bit. For now, I want to zoom in on these two options because there's two things you can actually do with the interest that you have actually found. One of them is you can apply them all into a single ad set. So as you probably know, every campaign is set up like this. On top of that, you'll have your campaign. Below that, you'll have ad sets. And inside all of your ad sets, you will have Facebook ads. So if you're going to click on this option right here, apply all to single ad set, then what's going to happen is that all these interests are going to be added to an ad set that you already have set up inside your Facebook ads account. Now in this video, that is not what I want to focus on. Instead, I want to focus on this option, which is the test interest feature. And as you can see, this feature is still in beta, which means that we're actively working on it as we speak, which means that this video could be slightly different compared to what you're seeing on your screen. Now, before I show you what happens if I click this button, I want to explain it to you first. Because again, Facebook doesn't actually share which of these interests is performing best. They don't share any data of that. So the only way we're going to be able to know that is if we create a campaign, and then we're actually creating a lot of different ad sets, and each ad set is going to target only one audience. So the first ad set is going to target audience 1, this one is going to target audience 2, and so forth. Because then we're able to see how this ad set is performing, which is only targeting one specific interest. And we're going to be able to see how this one is performing, and this one, and this one, and this one, etc., etc., etc. And obviously that, if you want to create this, if you want to create, for example, in this case, 27 different ad sets, that is a lot of work. But with ConnectExplore, this feature, it is set up in no time, and that's what it does. So I want to show you that on my screen right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to either create a new campaign or use an existing campaign if you prefer that. So in this case, I'm going to create a new campaign in our Connectio ad account, and I'm going to give it the name Wilco Demo Video, because obviously I want to show it to you in this video. And the budget is the budget that you want to set for the whole campaign, and this obviously depends on your preferences. Let's say, for example, I would pick $40. Oops. $40 a day. You can set up the campaign objective to whatever you prefer. For example, if you want to get video views, and I'm just going to press on continue, going to leave everything the same. And this page is where we're able to decide how many different ad sets we want to create. Because what we could do is create 27 different ad sets. As you can see right here, if I just move it all the way over there, then you'll see there's actually 27 different ad sets created. Every ad set is targeting one interest, but sometimes you want to have some more details, but you don't always want to create one interest per ad set. So in that case, you could also create less, for example, or you can just drag and drop them into. So maybe you want to have like these group, like how are these three comparing, and how are these three comparing towards each other. In other words, this is where you'll set up how many ad sets are going to be created inside your new campaign, and which interests are being targeted. Now, there's one thing in particular that you'll see right here, and that is an error message, which is because the total audience size is not big enough. As you can see, this audience size is only 103 people, and this one is 180. And Facebook does not allow you to target such a small audience, which you can obviously fix by, for example, dragging on a bigger one on top of it. So let's say in this case, I'm happy with this flow. I'm happy with testing those 16 different ad sets. Just going to press continue, and then obviously we'll need to add in the name and the targeting for all of those ad sets. So what you can do is right here, you can use something like interest, and this is going to be replaced by the actual interest for each of the ad sets. So let's say, for example, ad set test. I'm just going to add this into the name, ad set test. So now if a certain ad set is going to be created, every one of them, then the first one is going to have the name of that interest, right? And then the second one is going to have the name of that interest. And this way you'll be able to see inside your actual Facebook ads account inside the ad set name, what the original interest is that we're targeting. And I'll show you that in a little bit as well. You can obviously also set up which location all these ad sets should be targeting, as well as your age and obviously gender. And again, please take note that this is a beta version. So by the time you're looking at this screen, this might actually be different. And then obviously, once we have decided what campaign should be created, what ad sets should be created, along with these settings right here, we'll also need to decide what ads are going to be included. And that's why we're checking your Facebook ads account to see which ads you have in your account. And you can easily select any of your existing ads or filter into any of your specific campaigns on ad sets to see and to find a specific Facebook ad. So in this case, I'm just going to create, for example, these two ads right here, and I'm going to hit submit. Are you sure? Do you want to create 16 ad sets? Yes. While I'm recording this video, the creation of your ad sets will take multiple minutes, during which you should keep your page open. And once it's been created, you'll see inside your Facebook ads account that the campaign has been created. And inside the campaign, you'll see all the ad sets being created as well. And in the name, as you can see, will be the actual interest that has been targeted with that ad set. Now, inside all of those ad sets, obviously you got the ads as well as mentioned before, the ones that we have selected. And from now on, it's a matter of waiting until Facebook has actually showed your ad to the audience, because then you can go back inside your Facebook ads account and you can check the statistics for each of those. And then just like with any of your other ads, you'll be able to see like, hey, this one is actually not performing and this one is actually not performing. So what I recommend you to do is then turn off the ones that are not performing and focus on the ones that are performing best for your business. So for example, here's one of our own campaigns that we created using this. And as you can see right here, some interests are actually performing really well. Like for example, we realized that Jack Ma, who's the founder of Alibaba or AliExpress, if I'm not mistaken, that as an interest is working really well. So we spent $1,200, roughly, give or take, almost $1,300, and made back $2,600 in conversions. While other interests are not converting at all for us, as you can see right here. So by doing this, we quickly realized like, oh, we need to stop targeting these and we need to focus on these interests right here. But before we finalize this video, there's one more thing I'd like to show you, which is mostly for more advanced users. So let's say I've got 20 interests selected. I'm going to go to the Apply All to Ad Set section. As I mentioned before, we have something called layering. So what layering means is that normally when you target on Facebook, you would have, like, let's say this is a group of people on Facebook, and you would target people who are, for example, interested in fishing or fishing rods or all those kind of interests. Then anyone who is interested in at least one of those is already going to see your Facebook ad. Doesn't matter whether they've showed interest into like 3 or just 1, right? And what layering is, instead of just doing that, we're going to have 2 separate groups of audiences of interest, or even 3, for example. And like, let's say this is a group of interest, these are a group of interest, these are a group of interest. And what layering means is that we're only going to show our ads on Facebook to people who are overlapping. And what that means is that the only people who are going to see our ads on Facebook are the ones who are in this group right here, and also in this group right here, and also in this group right here. And that means that they're interested in at least 3 of those different things. It doesn't have to be 3. You can also use 2 right here, and then you'll be able to target people those. And that means that you're going to be able to target the most passionate group of people inside your audience. So the way you can do that is I just clicked on the ad layer right here. Now we're just going to divide them randomly. So now half of the interest is in this one layer right here, and then the other half is in this layer right here. Now, if I were to just apply this to a single ad set, that would be easy. Like one ad set would have the targeting, and it would target everyone who has shown interest into any of these, and also in any of these, right? But how does that work if we're going to test the interest? Now, in case you want to test these interests, then you'll need to decide whether, and I'll show you that, whether you want to test these interests, the first group, or the second group. So let me explain that to you, how that actually works. Let's say for simplicity's sake, we have 3 interests right here and we have 10 right here. And we were to test out this first layer. So we want to see how this one is converting and this one is converting and also how this one is converting. And what's going to happen, and this group is obviously also a layer. So let me just sketch that out for you. So let's say this is the bottom group, the 10 interests right here. And let's say these top 3 is A, B, and C. So what we're going to create is 3 different ad sets. A, B, C. So the first ad set is going to target this Big Fish Casino, everyone who's interested in Big Fish Casino and also is interested in at least one of those 10. In other words, this segment right here. Then the second ad set that's going to be created is targeting American Museum of Fly Fishing. In other words, let's say call that B. And the people who are going to be included in that audience are people who are interested in this and also inside this group. In other words, these people right here. And the same goes for the third one. So this ad set will target people who are interested in this as well as any of those 10 interests. In other words, this section right here. And the rest of the flow will be the exact same as before. So you would create your campaign, you would divide your interest over the ad sets, you would set up your ad set settings and then select which ad you want to use. And that is how you create your audience test. And from that moment, your ads will start running and your campaign is set up so that you'll see quickly after a while which audiences are converting and which ones are not, in order to learn from that and to scale the ones that are working best for your business.